Hi, this is Ramon Thomas, once again from the sunny side of South Africa. I'm going to start off this video with a quote by John Taylor Gatto. John Taylor Gatto is probably the world's leading expert on what's wrong with schools. He was twice elected the New York City Teacher of the Year and once the New York State Teacher of the Year before he quit teaching. Anyway, here's the quote. Whatever an education is, it should make you a unique individual, not a conformist. It should furnish you with an original spirit with which to tackle the big challenges. It should allow you to find values which will be your roadmap through life. It should make you spiritually rich, a person who loves whatever you are doing, wherever you are, whomever you are with. It should teach you what is important, how to live, and how to die. It's clear that there is this eternal battle between the individual and the group, between the individual and the collective, between the individual and the community, or between the individual and society. So last night I attended a swimming gala with one of my nephews who's about 8 years old. And the place was packed with young kids in the primary school and also their parents and families who came out in full force to support them. Now this particular school is a Catholic school, and so that means that it is part of a very large collective, a very large organization called the Roman Catholic Church. This video is not about the church, but much more about the school and what it reminded me of when I was looking and observing the events taking place. For me, it was a great exercise in groupthink. Everybody came together, enjoyed watching the kids swimming in the gala, some winning, some losing, and most of them just having fun as a group. But you could also make a very strong case that this was one of the best examples of conforming to society's norms, because any parent who may not want their kid to participate, even if the child themselves wants to participate, or especially when the child wants to join and participate with his friends in such a competition, may be seen as odd and weird and different. There's a movie called Captain Fantastic.
What we created here may be unique in all of human existence.
All the way to the top.
We created a paradise.
What we're doing out here is so incredible. Our kids are amazing.
I miss Mom.
Mom needs to be in the hospital right now. How's she doing? We're a family.
This is your fault.
Leslie had a disease.
Wherever you are, stay there. You show up, I will have you arrested.
We can't go to Mommy's funeral. We have to do what we're told.
We want to see Mom. Grandpa can't impress us.
Some say love. Right now, this is your first real test. Remember your training.
They have hot dogs.
What's cola?
Poison water.
Well, I'm so happy that our family is together. It's all local and organic.
How did you kill those chickens? With an axe or a knife?
There's a rotisserie chicken, so you buy it it's already dead.
The kids need structure. They need to go to a real school.
I sincerely hope you haven't been doing what I think you've been doing.
Your daughter has taught me many things just now. Will you be my wife?
Broke my heart with sticks.
Unless it comes out of a book, I don't know anything!
Swore I'm never.
Even if they make it through whatever it is you're doing to them, they're going to be totally unprepared for the real world.
And I happen to think the opposite is true.
It's child abuse.
That almost hit me.
If I wanted to hit you, I would have hit you.
If there is a line, I'll
Hello, Grandpa.
Abby and I have decided that we're going to file for custody of the children.
Will they take us away from you?
That's a possibility. Our children shall be philosopher kings. Makes me so indescribably happy.
And it's the story of a family that lives in the woods, and it's quite a big family with several boys and several girls being raised by their father. At the beginning of the film, the mother is in a hospital, and not long into the film, the husband and the father discovers that his wife committed suicide. And he has to now think about what to do next, to attend the funeral and engage with society, expose his children to the greater society, or continue to homeschool them and teach them how to be strong individuals who can take care of themselves, who are self-reliant. And the experiences in the movie, certainly in the first half of the movie, shows how strong the children have indeed become because of the individual attention being given by their father as he leads them out into a daily routine of exercise and rigorous training, as well as playing musical instruments together, sort of you could say how people lived their lives thousands of years ago or tens of thousands of years ago around a bonfire. And it turns out that they are all extremely well read because it's a matter of habit. It is a kind of habit that they fall into, where each is reading books, novels, and they seem to really enjoy this. So at some point, he's visiting I think it's his wife's sister and the husband, and they have two sons. And he asks one of them about the American Declaration of Independence. Actually, he asks both of them, and they don't really know what it's about. They vaguely heard that it's some kind of political document, but they have no idea what it is about. He then calls his youngest daughter, who is much younger than them, I'm guessing around 6 or maybe around 7, and she starts reciting the Declaration of Independence verbatim. He quickly stops her and tells her that that's not what he was asking her. He wanted her to give a summation of the Declaration of Independence, which she proceeds to do very well. Now, what happens next in this movie is that they, have a bit of an adventure because the wife, the mother of the children who had just committed suicide, had an express wish to be buried as a Buddhist and have her body cremated against the wishes of her own parents, who held a traditional funeral in a church. Anyway, I'm not going to spoil the film too much for you, but what happens at the end of the movie is that the eldest son confronts his father with the fact that he has been accepted into several of the top universities. Turns out that his mother had helped him before she was checked into the hospital to do the applications, and it just shows the incredible strength of character of the children raised, that coming from a completely isolated and homeschooled environment, they are such strong individuals of such high character that certainly that the son was accepted into MIT and Harvard and the who's who of what they call the Ivy League universities in America. Anyway, so let me go back to what I observed at this particular primary school. it was really, a wonderful experience in groups, getting together, groups of people in large numbers and celebrating. But what I found really lacking is the sense of the individual. As somebody who studied the work of John Taylor Gatto for many years, and I've had the pleasure of having a conversation with him on the telephone at his house in New York before he had a stroke a few years ago, I'm just constantly reminded of this difference between the individual and the collective. And there's, such a total ignorance about this matter that I find in society, that it's important for me to just express a few of my thoughts about this. I'm not sure what your experience is about being an individual versus being part of the group, but it certainly seems that you become much stronger and more self-reliant if you focus on your individual needs as opposed to following the herd or the sheeple, as some have said. So that is just a little bit of my thoughts, and I'd really like to know what you think about whether you're an individual or you prefer being part of a group, part of a collective. And what do you think are the pros and cons on focusing on being an individual versus being part of a larger group in society? So let me end off this video by sharing one of my favorite quotes of all time by the novelist Franz Kafka. In the fight between you and the world, always bet on the world. Dan Sullivan, a great business coach for entrepreneurs, shared this in a book called The 21st Century Agent that I listened to as an audio tape many, many years ago. So, in conclusion, I would just like to give a shout out to Jamie Lee Faree, who's done this painting that you can see up here. She's a young and upcoming artist who's only finished grade 10, and I have supported her. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and share it on social media. And also, I'd really appreciate your support by signing up as one of my patrons. I'm quite new at this, so if you do watch this and you like the video and you sign up to my Patreon, I will give a shout out to you in my next video, because I am looking for my very, very, very first Patreon subscriber. Okay, well, that's all for now. As Bugs Bunny used to say, that's all, folks.